everyone. So recently, I've gone out to the grocery store and I brought some pre-made guacamole, and I remember eating it and thinking to myself, I know I could have done better. And then thought to myself, well, why don't I? I'm someone who has always loved to cook, and this recipe is one that I have made many times for many different people, and I've had people even say that it tastes better than what restaurants have served. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make some delicious homemade guacamole. It's easy to learn and amazing to taste. And to preview, we are going to gather the right ingredients, prep those ingredients, and then combine those ingredients to make a great guacamole. So first off, we're going to need avocados, essential in guacamole. It has to be ripe, so when you touch on the avocado, it needs to be nice and a little soft, and if it's firm, it's not ripe yet. And we're going to need 3 avocados. We're going to need some red onions, and just one. I choose red onions because they're a little bit more mild than white onions, and I just love the pop of red. It's a really nice color. Now we're going to need 2 Roma tomatoes, and I choose Roma tomatoes because one, the red also looks vibrant in the guacamole, and Roma tomatoes have less seeds and juice than other types of tomatoes. And for the most part, Roma tomatoes are fresh year-round. So easy to grab, easy to collect. Next things are we're going to use fresh garlic cloves. And it adds so much flavor, and you want to make sure you use fresh. You don't want to use powder. You don't want to use paste. I believe there's some garlic paste. We want fresh. Next, we're going to have cilantro. And let me grab the cilantro. Sorry, I have all my ingredients prepped but the one. Cilantro, fresh cilantro. It tastes amazing, just gives a little taste. We're going to need a jalapeno pepper, and I'm just going to use one. And to make it a little bit more mild, less spice, is you can keep the seeds out. I'll be de-seeding them. We're going to need 2 fresh limes. It contributes to the overall flavor, and you want to make sure to use fresh limes and not the bottled limes. We're going to need some sea salt as well. And so we've gathered all the ingredients, so let's waste no time and start prepping. So to start prepping, we need to finely chop some of the onions. And what we're going for is 1/3 cups of onions. So we're going to cut this in half. And so we're chopping. So we want nice mince. So let's give it a nice chop. It can be slightly rough. It doesn't matter. We're going for small bits, not too small, but not too big. You don't want, when you're making guacamole, you don't want too big of pieces. It just doesn't taste that great. And then we'll keep giving it a chop until it's the desired size that you want. I'm going for a little bit, maybe I'd say pinky size, like pinky nail size, I should say, not a whole pinky. Whew. And these will make you tear up a little bit. Ugh, that does hit. They are quite strong. Sorry. The next things we want to prep are going to be our tomatoes. So let me wash my knife. The onions will always hurt. So let's half the onions and cut them into small bits, kind of around the onion size, but not too small. Like I said, if you get too small, then you don't get the flavor in each bite, but you don't want them too big where you're just eating pure tomato size. So it's kind of preferential, but I'd use around this size. It's easy to have a tomato in each bite, and I'm still kind of welling up from the onions. So we got all our tomatoes done. We'll put that to the side. Our jalapeno, cut the top off. I usually cut in the middle. Then I'm gonna de-seed the jalapeno because people in this house do not like seeds and do not like it being spicy. Sadly, I'm more of a spice person. Give me a moment. Oh, the onions. Always beware the onions. So we're going to give this a nice chop. And we want them to be small. Again, bite size, a little smaller than the tomatoes, around the onion size. Then we have our jalapenos all cut up. Then we're going to cut our limes in half. That's pretty simple. Only takes a moment. We're going to, kind of harder, I know our table's getting a little messy, we're going to mince our garlic. So we want cloves of garlic. So what we do is we take our flat end of our knife, push it on there, smack really hard. That gets the skin off of the garlic. And we're going to mince the garlic. So we're going to want it as thin, tiny as possible. But we want this fresh because it tastes far better fresh. And then we're mincing 2 garlics, by the way, so make sure you have 2 on the ready. Get the skin off. We don't want the skin in there. That would taste not great in guacamole. So, we have most of our ingredients prepped. We got, all that's left is our cilantro. I bought this from Amazon, so it's in a pre-packaged container, sadly. So just get the leaves. And we want this finely chopped as well. Trying to separate my ingredients so that way they don't mix accidentally. So you want a bigger space to do everything. You probably should be putting things on the side as well. I'm putting everything in at once in one area. The last ingredient is our avocados. We're gonna need 3 avocados. We're gonna have them. And I've already have my avocados, so what you're gonna do is have it with a knife, cut it in half, twist it and open it until you have the seed out. 1 second. Those onions are killing me. You take the knife with the sharp end and you hit the seed, or the pit, I should say, twist and pop out. The pit is gone, toss it in the trash, if it would get off my knife. And then you have avocados. And so, our ingredients are now prepped, so let's move on to adding them together. So we're gonna have to deflame the onions. So, add the 1/3 onion, so grab a measuring cup. We're gonna add 1/3 onions, have a little left over. We're gonna add that to a bowl. We're gonna add our minced garlic, our 2 cloves of minced garlic, and then we're going to squeeze 1 lime into the bowl. So, and this is called deflaming. If you prepped early, another thing you can do is give it more time, the lime more time to set with the onions, because it gives it more, it takes a bit of the spice out. That's easy. So next we're gonna mix it a little bit. We're gonna add our tomatoes. We're gonna add our jalapenos and cilantro. And we're going to add now our avocados. So what you wanna do with the half of avocados, you wanna take a spoon out the avocado, and place it down. We're going to spoon the other half as well. And for the other avocado, I've already had it prepped, ready to be cut and added. So you just want to give them a nice chop. And I have the rest of the avocado here, so we're going to give them a chop as well. We're just chopping it so it's a little easier to mix up. So we're gonna first mix what's in the bowl first, get everything all mixed up. And now we're gonna put our avocados in. And now we're gonna use a fork to mash it together. Let me grab the other avocado. And in the bowl, we're gonna mash everything together. Pretty easy, only takes a moment. I prefer larger chunks in my guacamole, so as I'm mixing, I am not mixing it too much where I don't have anything in the middle, or where it's too soft. I prefer bigger chunks. I think it gives a bit more flavor when you're eating it. And I want to eat my favorite item in this is the avocado. So that's something when I'm eating guacamole, I want to taste the avocado. So we're almost fully mixed up and we're almost completely done. Now all we need to do is we're going to add our lime juice, our last lime, into the guacamole. Where's I just got juiced. We're going to squeeze that in. Squeeze that in. And so we're also going to want to add a little bit of sea salt. Once you get the onion or lime in. And I'm just going to eye it. But if you want to know the exact measurements, you should put around 3/4 teaspoons into the guacamole. So we're going to mix that one more time. And we're done. That's it. Guacamole is done. And so that's it. We're done. And this is a recipe that doesn't take too much time. So, as I said before, making guacamole is easy. You just need to pick the right ingredients, make sure to prep and combine all those ingredients to make a perfect appetizer or snack. And did you see how easy it was? You now know how to make delicious guacamole. I will never go back to buying pre-made guacamole because when making it is so easy and non-time consuming. I truly believe a homemade recipe will always beat out processed food when it comes to taste. Thank you.